Hey there, MiniWarGamers. Cooler here with another Beat the Cooler Bat Rep. Once again with Cam. This time we're going back to Warhammer Fantasy, and I am playing 2,500 points of Tomb Kings against his 2,500 points of Chaos. And remember, if you want to get your own Tomb Kings or Chaos, click below on the link there. And click to challenge a MiniWarGamer. And remember, if he wins, that's $50 in-store credit. You could win too. Stay tuned to see these armies.
WeWork's here to play. MiniWarGaming Speed the Cooler Bat Rep.
So here we have my 2,500 point Tomb Kings list. Starting off with the characters, we've got my level 4 Hierophant with lore of Nekahara, the Tomb King lore. And this is me making sure that I got the right guy. Then we've got my Tomb King and my 2 Lich Priests, level 1, level 2. And they have Light and Dark, or Light and Death. Then we've got 45 skills, 30 skills, and 20 Tomb Guard, all with full command. 4 groups of 3 chariots, no command or anything like that. We've got the Casket and a group of Ushapti with 2 hand weapons and a Necrosphinx. So that's my 2,500 points. And we'll see how that goes against Cam's 2,500 points of Chaos. So starting off from the end here, we've got his Hell Cannon and a number of Chaos Knights, a large group of Marauders with Tzeentch, big block of Trolls, and more Warriors with Tzeentch, a War Shrine, and some Doggies. Then he's got his Battle Standard Bearer, a level 1 Wizard of Nurgle, a level 4 Wizard of Tzeentch, and Throg. So all those Trolls count as core, and yeah, they're all ready to go rock out. So 2,500 points of Chaos. And now this is the armies deployed against one another. Really simple terrain. We didn't want to go all crazy with the terrain like we did in a previous game. So pretty open, pretty much just going to be charging one another. Now, no, we didn't change the terrain so it's easier for the chariots. It's just the way it happened before I get called out on that. No, he set up the board. We just kind of agreed on it. So anyway, here's the armies deployed, and Tomb Kings just kind of lined up. I'm going to aim to hit them with my chariots and then follow up with the spears. So hopefully that'll work. And here we are rolling off. Chaos go first. Chaos turn 1. First thing that happens, of course, declare charges. He doesn't have any to declare, so his little puppies run up the side, heading for my flank against my chariots and Casket and Tomb Guard, who are on the left there. And then we've got his main unit of Chaos Warriors moving into the forest, which I believe makes them cause fear. Can't recall offhand, but pretty sure it was nothing important. No game changer. Trolls move up, giant block of Marauders move up, his War Shrine moves up, and his Knights move up. And they kind of just head up on the other flank. I guess that's the left flank. These guys are heading up on the right. Against the Necrosphinx, the Ushapti, and my skeletons. More skeletons. About 30-man skeletons. And of course a chariot. Magic phase begins. 7 dice for him. No channels. No channels for the Tomb Kings. And there we go. So, first thing he does is the Nurgle ability to give himself regeneration, which he easily gets. Then he goes to cast the Infernal Gateway on my chariots. He gets miscast, but he has Tendrils of Tzeentch, which lets him reroll a 6, and he does. And I try and stop him, but it does not get dispelled by my level 4 wizard, who has the +1 attempt to dispel and cast. So it goes off. It's strength 10, 9 hits. He does 8 wounds. So 2 chariots are destroyed, and 1 chariot's left with 1 wound on it. Definitely a good opening hit. And then he fires his Screaming Skull Catapult at my Casket of Bones. Direct hit. It has no save. He does 5 wounds, and it dies. It then explodes, hitting the nearby units on a 4+. It hits the chariots 5 times, so d6 hits, and does a wound to them. Oh no, my mistake. It does 4 wounds to them. Then it goes after the Tomb Guard, which it fails to actually wound them. The other chariots on the other side, they don't get wounded either. And then the big block of skeletons, they do get wounded, and they take 2 more wounds. And they do have regen thanks to the Hierophant. They get a 6-up regen, which they promptly fail, so 2 of them die. And the casket is, of course, destroyed as well. now he's casting Flickering Flames, I believe, and that does not go off. There was a different spell that he tried to cast. It failed to cast, is the moral of the story. Tomb King's turn 1 begins, and... oh no, he cast the spell that makes it so any doubles his perils within... or if any wizards try and cast within like 24 of him or something like that, and allied units can't use my general's leadership. Yeah, that's what he did. And my chariots charge up. The Necrosphinx charges the knights because it does fly, so it just barrels into them. And it's toughness 8, and it's got 5 attacks. 4 of them are killing, 1 of them's heroic killing. The Ushapti try and charge. They failed to charge terribly. And the chariots on the side charge the doggies. And the dogs elect to flee. So they scurry away, and they run 12 inches straight back. More or less. And we agreed that we're not going to count the river as anything, so they just run. And then my chariots, they redirect, they do pass their leadership and go after the warriors on the other side, and they actually make that charge. So they charge right into the chariot, or the chariots charge right into the warriors, and they do have to take a dangerous terrain for hitting that forest, which they do have multiple wounds, so they should be fine, but, you know, it's a chance. Could get hurt. And so they crash into there. This chariot with the 1 wound on it moves up just a bit, because if it's nearby when I start casting my Nekahara spells, it will get healed. And that's what I'm hoping for. My big block of skeletons with all of my characters in it moves up in the middle. It does actually have all of the characters in it, and the other chariots beside there move up as well, just a little ways, trying to get closer to the front line so they can guarantee their charge. The Tomb Guard march, or move up. They can't march. Nothing in this army can march. Gotta keep that in mind. Because Tomb Kings can't do it. Skeletons can't do it. Undead can't do it. Magic phase begins. No channels for the good guys. And I no longer get the D3 power dice because I don't have the spell there. I try and reduce his toughness, and I succeed in it, but he uses a Dispel Scroll. And now I try and reduce his strength and toughness, and there you go. Now he's using his Dispel Scroll, which stops it from going off. And now my Hierophant attempts to increase their weapon skill and initiative, and give them Killing Blow, just for the sake of casting a spell, which fails to go off. The fight here begins between the knights and the chariots and the trolls there, and they get a bunch of attacks. Alright, sorry, that was the fight between the Sphinx. We had to go back because we did that wrong originally, the way Killing Blow works, so we had to change around the footage, and 3 knights died, but they held their ground against the Sphinx. That's what happened on the side there. In the middle, the chariots attacked the trolls. They killed one of the trolls outright and wounded another one, and then the mounts then the Throg killed one of them, and then all the guys and their mounts get to attack. And they actually do another 2 wounds, which kills the other trolls. They kill 2 of the trolls, but then the rest of the trolls attack, and they just munch down on those 2 chariots, and that's it. They're dead. So the first row of chariots is gone. These chariots, they get 2d6 impact hits. They've got 8. They need 4s. They get none. So 8 dice, not 1 4+. Quite upsetting, but it happens. Now he attacks back with his Chaos, who promptly destroy both of those chariots as well. And that is the end of turn 1. So Tomb Kings have taken a lot of damage, but we've still got lots of skeletons. His wolves are on the run, and the Necrosphinx is tied up his knights, and we've still got some chariots left. So stay tuned for part 2 and see if the Tomb Kings can push through those trolls.